can't see where now I'm on. Yeah, hey. Thank you, choir. Okay. Now I'm turned on. Oops, so the daily word was perfect, of course. And thank you, Stella, whoever jumped in so quickly to correct the sound this morning. The power of beginning. So Melody Bailey wrote, beginnings can be delicate or explosive. She goes on, they can start almost invisibly or arrive with a big bang. This beginning here today feels like a little bit of both, doesn't it? You know, for about 2 years, we struggled and wrestled and we did things, then we backed away and then we changed our minds. And then all of a sudden, it all fell into place very quickly. Melody Bailey goes on. Beginnings hold the promise of new lessons to be learned, new territory to be explored, and old lessons to be recalled, practiced, and appreciated. Beginnings hold ambiguity, promise, fear, and hope. I think most of us have experienced all of that, have we not? Don't let the lessons, experiences of the past dampen your enthusiasm for beginnings. Just because it's been hard doesn't mean it will always be that difficult. Don't let the heartbreaks of the past cause you to become cynical, close you off to life's magic and promise. Open yourself wide to all that the universe has to say. Let yourself begin anew. I'm still very sibilant, aren't I? Pack your bags. Choose carefully what you bring, because packing is an important ritual. Take along some humility and the lessons of the past. Toss in some curiosity and excitement about what you haven't yet learned. Say your goodbyes to those you're leaving behind. Don't worry who you will meet or where you will go. The way has been prepared. The people you are to meet will be expecting you. A new journey has begun. Let it be magical. Let it unfold. All parts of the journey are sacred and holy. Take time now to honor the beginning. So that's what I'd like to do this morning. Today, honor and celebrate this beginning. And this week I knew that my talk title had to be The Power of Beginning, but I didn't know where to begin with that. So I went to a document I keep in my computer. It's called Ideas. And there I write down all sorts of thoughts that come to me, things I've heard, potential talk titles. You know, somebody says a phrase and you go, ooh, you know, there's a talk title. So I went to that, and right at the very top of that document were 6 potential talk titles. And they were The Leader Servant, or the servant leadership. Interesting. Second one is You Are First Cause. Third one, The Color of Your Consciousness. And then Awakening Dreamer, Humanity Rising, and Being All Right with Being All Wrong. And I took a look at those and I realized that each and every one of them I can relate to beginnings. Actually, each and every one of them is a talk in itself as well. But all together, they're points we can look at with new beginnings. So let's look at the first one, the leader-servant, or servant leadership. You know, the old leadership style was always the leader in front, always being recognized, always being celebrated, always being obeyed. Right? But in recent years, we've seen the emergence of a new model of leadership, and that's leading from within. So the leader is right there in the pack doing the work, right? Or even leading from behind, where the leader is actually back there pushing people forward, helping others to step forward while still ultimately accepting the responsibility for the buck stops here. That's a new model of leadership. And that leading from behind is clearing the way for others to step in, to step up, to help, to be partners in the leadership. And I'm noticing that in Unity Vancouver Island. People are willing. People are stepping up into team leadership and team support. People are willing to serve on the board of directors. People are showing up at our What's Up meeting to give their input and ideas. being willing to serve and to lead, or even to take turns leading one thing and serving in another. So Thomas and I, Rev T, we often talk about the gift of service, of being of service, and how ministry allows us that. That's our favorite thing about being ministers, is that we get to serve. It's very rewarding. And I've come to think that service is the most rewarding. You may be familiar with Lee Strasberg, who was involved with the Actors Studio in New York. And he trained some magnificent actors, and he did a lot of psychological gameplay and psychological coaching to them. And one of the things he did, and my friend Joanne knows this because she taught me this, is he would ask people 5 words to describe the rest of your life. That's the assignment. 5 words to describe the rest of your life. I heard one person say sex, 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 and sex. Most people say, family, home, motorcycles, my car, those kind of things. And I don't see it that way. I heard the challenge, 5 words to describe the rest of your life, and I said, being of service to humanity. That's what it is. Now, I don't mean to set myself as being this altruistic, superior being, because I don't think you really can be altruistic. Because when you're being kind to other people, you do it in order to feel good about yourself, right? So it's selfish too. But to me, that's the opportunity to serve and be of service to humanity. That's what I want my life to be. And when I'm no longer useful, I don't want to be here. So there are new ideas about leading and serving. And each one of us chooses from time to time what suits us at that time. And it can change. But it's always choice. We always have the choice about what it is we're doing. And that leads me to our next talk title, which is You Are First Cause. And that's how you become cause in your life, is to exercise your choice. Because you are the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape your life, right? Your thought, your idea, is first cause of everything you do and everything that happens to you. Everything that's ever been invented and everything that's ever been developed, all the everyday things, dishes, cutlery, clothing, all those began as an idea in somebody's mind. All the great iconic buildings and huge bridges and all those things. The Great Wall, the Taj Mahal, they all began in somebody's mind. And then it got developed. First cause is the idea, the thought. Every political party, constitution, every charity, every sport, they all began as a thought in somebody's mind, right? So we are first cause of almost everything. Charles Fillmore said, all things material are first thought pictures carved by the imagination from omnipresent thought substance. I love that. Omnipresent thought substance. First cause. So your thoughts are the first cause of things that are going to happen at Unity, right? You have the idea, you have the thought, and incidentally you are the first cause of everything that happens in your life, right? So if you have a gloomy, gray, Eeyore type of life, or whether you look at everything through rose-colored glasses, you are first cause. You are the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape your life, right? So, speaking of gloomy gray or rosy pink, let's look at the next possible talk title, The Color of Your Consciousness. So, one definition of consciousness is the feeling that accompanies our being alive, the fact that we experience the world rather than simply interacting with it mechanically. That's what consciousness is. And sometimes we associate those feelings with colors, yes? Ever been in a blue mood? Ever been green with envy? Rose-colored glasses? I saw red? All those things, we associate our emotions with colors. And I experienced this experience of being here with you as 3 colors: purple, gold, and pink. Because purple is the color I associate with spirituality. Gold I associate with the very best. And of course, pink is all about love. So, love Love has the power to lift us up, right? And the next potential talk title in my list was Humanity Rising, which is what love does. So the master teacher Jesus said, if I be lifted up, what? I lift up everyone. I lift up everyone. So that's true for us as well. Love lifts our consciousness. And when we're lifted in consciousness, when the color of our consciousness is pure love, then we lift others up, do we not? And humanity rises. So as we step into this new opportunity that we have today, we have the opportunity to color our world, to splash our pink and gold and purple all over the place and wake everybody up, which is a clever segue into the next talk title, Awakening Dreamer. You know how it is with some dreams? Oh, they're so nice, you just want to stay there. You know, especially if they're about kids and puppies and maybe a new romantic love, you know, or the 7 wonders of the world, or the flying dreams. You know those? You get up, you go pee, and then you come back to bed and say, I want to get back in there, right? Dreams. We can stay in that dream for a bit, or we can wake ourselves up. It's always our choice. Yeah? You choose in the morning. Do you want to stay in bed and try and get back in that dream? Or you just say, okay, if it wasn't a pleasant dream, if it was a nightmare, you get out of it real quick, right? And how do you do that? Just by saying so. Be gone, dream. Out of here. Yeah. Isn't it empowering to think that we're always at the place of choice as to how we will respond? Always at the place of choice is potentially awakening. That place in consciousness where we can wake ourselves up, or we can just stay in the dream. Stay in the dream. Because life, many of the great philosophers these days say life is a dream. You know, which is your reality? You choose. We can choose to be fully awake, or we can choose to linger in the unpleasant dreams, the nightmare that our lives sometimes are, yes? Night dreams or daydreams, we are awakening by our choices. That's how we wake up. We exercise our choice, and that's what gives us mastery in our lives. So for whatever reason, most of us sometimes, either consciously or unconsciously, we kind of choose to stay in that gloomier place for a little while. Ever done that? I think I'll just wallow for today. We just can't seem to access the gold and the purple and the pink right now. Sometimes things just seem to go all wrong. Again, a clever segue, because the next title is Being All Right with Being All Wrong. We can choose to be all right when things are all wrong, right? We can choose to surrender what is, and in doing so, we make it okay to be the way. You know, whatever's happening right now, it can never be any way than the way it is right now. In the next moment, it can be totally transformed. But right now, in this moment, this is the only way it can be. So it's perfect. So when we surrender to that, our lives take on new meaning. We know the phrase resistance causes persistence. So that on some level, the more we struggle against anything, the more power we give to it, yes. Someone once says, what you resist persists. What you accept transforms. What you accept transforms. Make it all right. Sounds like another whole talk title, doesn't it? However it is, it's all right. Because we've all made mistakes. We all misjudged, and we will again. You know, years ago when I was a minister at Center for Spiritual Living in Kamloops, I had the opportunity to attend a week-long seminar in Seattle that was sponsored by Centers for Spiritual Living and featured 5 of the top New Thought ministers on the continent. And they shared their wisdom and their experiences with us very generously for a week. But we know we were all still very nervous. What if I screw up? What if I do something wrong? Well, you know, what's the worst? What if I really make a mess and I lose friends and I lose the congregation? And what if the church closes down because I did, all that stuff? And Dr. David Bruner said, something that shocked the pants off us. He said, it's only a church. It's only a church? what he was saying is that even if the very worst should happen, we can still make the choice to be all right with it. Even if we lose all our friends, our whole community, you know what? You've made this community for yourself because you are first cause. You're the one who created this community for you. You can always make another. You know, every person in this whole world is your potential friend, your potential community, because it's you that's creating it. And you know, many of us have had that experience. I've made unwise choices, have you? I've lost friends, I've lost relationships. But we learn that. But because we're conscious now, right? We know what we're doing. We know how important our attitude was, as in the daily word reading this morning. How do we approach life? When we choose, it's as simple as that. We choose, it's all right now. It's magic. Our friend Brian Hazelbauer, who's not here today, we were talking one day, trying to do something about the sound, I think, and he got it right. And I said, it's magic. And he said to me, it's all magic. You just have to learn how to use the wand. What a great thought, yeah? And that's what we're doing here today. When we think the same way we've always thought, we just keep getting what we always got, right? I watched a Netflix special the other day. It was comedian Dave Chappelle was being awarded the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Now, I didn't really know much about Dave Chappelle. I knew he was quite a famous comedian. But I wasn't familiar with his humor. And I kind of don't, well, I do watch a lot of stand-up comics, but a lot of them are really kind of gross and in your face and full of toilet humor and, you know, shock value, and I don't like that. But I watched this and I learned something about comedians today. There are a lot of them who are using their intelligence and their platform to express political opinions and social commentary and to educate people, really, which is a much better way to educate people than shocking them and shaming them and making them feel bad. And there are a lot of visible minority comedians that I've noticed lately, black comedians, Asian, Muslim comedians, who are using that platform to make some very good points and tackle some issues and educating people and waking people up through the use of humor. And what a good way that is to wake up. And it's a bit ironic because those awards are a little bit controversial because Mark Twain, who the awards are named for, is thought by many people to be racist because of the way in Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer that the character Jim was treated and portrayed. However, you know, that does reflect society of the time, and Mark Twain later in life was known to be an abolitionist and, you know, social progressive. And so it's gratifying that many of the recipients of this award are black recipients, as Dave Chappelle is. And in his acceptance speech, Dave Chappelle said several things that showed to me the depth of his character and understanding of human nature. And there was something that really hit home with me. He said, "You've got to reveal people to themselves by exposing yourself with your art." We've got to reveal people to themselves. That's what education is about, really. That's what we're doing here, is discovering ourselves. And you do it by exposing yourself with your art. So any artist, any performer has to be willing to do that. So I think that's very applicable to what ministers have the opportunity to do, to reveal people to themselves by exposing ourselves with our art. People have told me many times that when I speak about my own life experiences and challenges and events, that they relate, that they like that because they can relate that to their own experiences and have realizations about themselves that help their awareness and growth. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm a minister because I don't know how to do stand-up comedy.
That's another thing. You kind of do, though.
Well, sort of. But this is my niche, you know. So I just want to thank you for the privilege of being able to stand up here and expose myself, with Thomas's help sometimes, in the hope that you will be revealed to yourself and be lifted up. Namaste.